My name's Chuck Ciccarelli. We have a company called In the Ditch Towing Products, and I was on a radio show last night, and I told them I think we're Idaho's best kept secret. We're pretty proud of some of the accomplishments we've done, and with Tech Help has been a great partner of ours and helped us get going. I was asked to speak a little bit on company culture. I want to tell you a little bit about myself. I'm kind of a high energy guy, and I get the opportunity to go around the country and talk, and everywhere I go I always do this a little study. And so I want to do it here. So the theory is that we've been kind of trying to develop over the last few years is I found out some things about manufacturers, and I need you to go along with me. So the first thing is the belief is that 1 out of 3 manufacturers is above average intelligence. The people that work for them. So show me your hands if you believe that. Really? It's proven. The belief is, and I do this study, it's 1 out of 3 of you is above average intelligence. Raise your hands if you believe me. Thanks, Steve. We also say 1 out of 3 of you is above average looks. So raise your hands if you believe me. Really? Dwayne? 1 out of 3 of you also earns above an average income. Raise your hand if you believe me. All right. So now we got to put the analysis to work. So what I need you to do is look at the person on your left. Look them over real good. Or the one behind you. And then look at the one on the right. Look them over real good. Well, since it's neither one of them, it's got to be you, right? So I try to think of myself as the third person, right? So a little bit about us. We manufacture products for tow truck equipment is kind of our main market. We tend to manufacture things that fit through the doors, so that'll fit through a doorway. We've kind of defined our scope. We're pretty proud. In the last 8 years, we've developed, invented, and brought to market over 350 products. Currently, we employ, thanks to the new Obama backing off, we had our roster set at 49, but now we're at 52. So we have 52 full-time employees. We're working 2 shifts. We're very fortunate right now. We run a couple Trump lasers, and we have press brakes and robots, and we're very big into technology. I think technology is the way we used to do business is it's all gone. And you know, they asked me last night what I was going to talk about today, and really a lot of it's about change and people's inabilities to want to change. You know, you go to any mid-sized community like Mountain Home or Council, Idaho, and you look at, if you were to look at a lot of the businesses and take a picture of them 5 years ago, then you're all nodding your head. You know where I'm going, right? 2 years ago and in today, and you mirrored that, what's changed? Paint peels more, right. And I believe that we just got to get better each day, and to get better each day, that involves change. So we've really, those that know us, we've gone headlong into lean manufacturing. And I mean, when I say we've gone into it, we have leadership meetings every Thursday. We aggressively train on it consistently. We live, eat, and breathe it. I still believe we're about 4 pages into chapter 1 of our lean journey, but we're really headlong into that. And in order to get there, we kind of had to develop a philosophy and a culture of how to get things done. It's kind of like building a football team, right? I'm the head coach. This is how we're going to win it, and you either buy in or you buy out. So throughout the years, I tried to develop a set of rules that we were going to govern our company by, and check marks that kind of help us guide us through the rough times and the good times. Okay, so one of the things that we did is we defined who our leaders are in our company. And a lot of companies, when you pull in, I was at this huge $300 million company in Tennessee the other day. The parking space next to the front door said reserved for the CEO. Riley? I mean, who's that supposed to be reserved for? The customer. So within our company, we start work at 8 o'clock, and I noticed a lot of people were coming in early and staying late. So we devised these signs: first to arrive, second to arrive, third to arrive, for the employee parking area. And that tells you who the leaders are. And it's it's crazy. So we start work at 8 o'clock. I'm going to tell you right now, if you're not there by 6 a.m., you will not get one of them parking spots. It is that coveted. Because, I mean, you don't want me to get there before you, right, Dwayne? And it's insane. I mean, I find myself driving to work and I'm like, no, and I want that number one spot, and that's mine for the day. And so that's just one of the things that we've done as a culture, and it's really starting to evolve. It's quite a sense of pride. But more importantly, when you walk by every day, you know who the people are that are committed to our company, the other people. And I think it's just a great thing. It seems to be working for us. Next thing we've had to do is define our company culture board. And this thing means a lot to us, and I was going to go through it. Now, when you come into our company, we have this board's we have several of them. They're about 4 foot tall, wide, and about 6 to 8 foot tall. So we want the world to know how our companies run, and we're really proud of what these things mean to us, and they guide us and they steer us. And I'm going to take a minute and kind of walk you guys through what each one of them means to us. We also have, I say a lot what it means to us, like we have a huge board that's lean terminology. So we have lean words, and it's what these words mean to us. Doesn't mean it's what it means to you, it's what it means to us at a company. So we want you to understand our lean terminology, so if I ask you to go 5S your desk, you know exactly what that means. Tack time by definition gets a little gray, right? I know, Steve, we worked quite a while. There's a lot of theological discussion about defining tack time, and so we wrote it down. Then what we do is we give tests, and if you can pass our company lean terminology test, you get a quarter an hour raise. So we have 5 projects like that going on throughout the shop, and we mentor you, and you get a quarter an hour raise every time you pass the test. So I'm a capitalist. I believe in, you pay people, right, for helping you build a great company. So I'm going to start at the top. I hate to even use the word team. Every one of you hear it, right? Join our team, come to work for our team, but yet I ask companies all over, I say, okay, so I'm going to go join your team, Troy. What does team mean to you? And you get all these varied answers, right? What does it really mean to be on a team? My son, very proud of, he plays football for the College of Idaho. And I said, so what does it mean to be a team player? He says, our Coach Morosky is very clear. He said, do what we say, do it our way, and you'll be successful. So they know, they know what, they have Yote Steel, they know very specifically what you need to do to succeed in that program. Very defined goals. It's pretty impressive. So I got really fed up with this team deal, so I thought, well, let's define what being a good team player really means to us. And so by definition, if you work it in the ditch, to be a team player, it simply means you're always trying to make the other person look good. It's quite that simple. So if engineering wants the lasers to look good, they're going to give them drawings and DXF files that are presented perfectly. If the laser wants the press brake operators to look good, they're going to laser cut the part with no burr on it, and they're going to present it to the operators, not stacked, but in the exact way the operator wants it presented. Then we hope this infection continues, and the press brake operators deliver it to the weld shop in a manner that the welder just turns and grabs the part. The welders, obviously within our culture, want the paint shop to look good, so they're going to give them a part that's deburred and ready to go. The paint shop has a lot of pride, and they want our shipping department to look good, so they give them a part that's painted properly. Final assembly wants shipping to look good, so they assemble the product. And then ultimately shipping wants us to look good, so they put the package. They don't package it like it came from Whoville. And to me, it's that simple, right? If we all, even take swimming. If everybody just tries to make everybody look good. My mentor once told me, He said, if in the water in the harbor goes up, all the ships go up. And I thoroughly believe that. So, team player, you all know what it means to us. Next, we believe in staying disciplined to the processes we have in place. Follow them to the smallest detail. Remember, the snowflake never blames itself for the blizzard, and the water drop never blames itself for the flood, right? It's never me. It's always something else. But when you manufacture, especially with us, over 350 products, 240 of them are built exactly when we need them. We don't inventory, and that's an incredible leap of faith. You hear my voice quivering? But it's so critical right down to the product decal placement. If it gets put on wrong and it stains the paint, that product can no longer ship. So it's everything down to the smallest decal. I mean, right down to the person welding needing lens cleaner not being there. It slows them down, right? So everybody's got to do everything. I mean, you're either committed or you're not. We don't have titles. Well, I don't believe in management. I don't like the term management. You know, when Lou Holtz went to coach Notre Dame, the president of the company said, Lou Holtz, I can make you the football head coach of the Notre Dame football team, but I can't make you the leader of the team. I believe I can make you the manager, but I can't make you the leader, right? That's something that's earned from within. So we don't go with manager. We have leaders and champions within our company. If any of you come to my office, the sign over my office is I am the Regional Director of Excitement, Platinum status. So the first thing I know is a lot of people accuse owners of their companies of being micromanagers. And I said, well, I don't know as we're micromanagers, but I think we have a clearly defined vision of how our business should be run. And your job is to help propel that vision. And I would hang out with business owners at lunch, and people would call them and say, hey, well, we're out of light bulbs. What do you want me to do? And he'd say, well, I'll go pick some up on the way home. Or we're out of toilet paper, and businesses were being crippled because they can't make a move because they got to go through so many layers of management. So we got rid of it all, and we said, at our company, here's how it rolls. Anybody can change anything they want as long as they get at least 2 other people to approve it. Now, the 2 other people have to be people that can help you make an informed decision. So, Dwayne, if you work for us and you're a welder, you probably wouldn't go up into the office and say, hey, girls, I want to buy a new welder. What do you think? But what we've done is we free people up to make decisions on their own. Now, what we find over and over is the person wanting to change. If you want to change the color of your office, want to change it to purple, you're going to get 2 or 3 people that can help you make that decision, and they're going to ask the hard questions. Really? And how much is it going to cost? Where are we going to get the money? And have you thought about this or that? But more importantly, once they decide, they make the decision and they go with it. And we just do it relentlessly over and over and over. The second thing we've done as a company, and I'm going to hear gasp and eye rolls, is we give everybody in our company a $200 spending limit. And I get asked all the time, well, how often can they do it? And I'm like, as many times as they want. In a day? Absolutely. I believe we have to have people work for us that can make a decision under $200 without going through layers of management just to buy damn coffee cups. But on the other hand, you wouldn't buy coffee cups at our company because we're a lean company, so you'd have to have a Kaizen, you'd have to create Kanbans, you'd have to create order cards, so it all goes hand in hand. So if you wanted to buy coffee cups, you get with 2 people, and they're going to say, Sherry, how big, how tall, where are we going to store them, who's our vendor going to be, what's the reorder point, what's the reorder time? And then we go through it and we move, and we're fast, and we're just getting things done. We have 2 big signs up that say, proceed with an extreme sense of urgency. So in business, when people call, they want the phone. How many people are fed up of automated answering systems, prompts? But yet, how many of you run them? But you see what I mean? Those of us that are fed up, hats off to you. I don't believe in them. But we need instant answers. We need things now. We need new product developed now. We need people hired now. We need, new machinery now. And it just boggles my mind that how long it takes to get information when we all know cell phones, you can't even stay on top of the latest upgrades on your cell phone. I mean, it's the here and now, and we want to capitalize on it. And the only way we can do that is empower people to make a decision. This is kind of a mindset. Remember that we're always trying to be forward thinkers. Don't get caught up in saying that's how we did it in the past. Get caught up in thinking about that's how it's going to be in the future. If I think it's Harvey Firestone, if he hadn't dreamed of a rubber tire with air, we'd still be running around on wooden wheels. When we interview people, I think HR is right up there next to the president of the CEO. As we talked this morning, I don't think there's anything more important than getting the right people on board. But when we interview people and we're going through the process and you can hear them, well, that's not how we used to do it. I say, good, good. Because we don't really care how things were built last year. We're worried about how they're going to be done 10 years from now. So we're very hesitant to bring people on board that we may have that conflict from that says, well, that's not how we used to do it. We're looking for people that are excited and they say, I want to change the world and this is how I think it should be done in the future. Okay? The cool thing about us is if it doesn't work, we change it. So important. Each person here is counting on the next person to do their job well. If anyone does poor work, it's going to have an effect on all of us. Okay? That goes without saying. Somebody asked me about titles the other day. Why don't you give titles? And in the same conversation, they said, how do I move up here in the company? And I asked them, I said, well, tell me, what's the most important job in our company? Who should be, or what should be right here? I mean, really, what's the number one goal of our company? What should be the goal of any company? No, make money. It's right up there with oxygen. Right? I've had money and I haven't had money, and it's better to have than to not have. The number one goal is to make money. There are very few people are working for me for benevolent reasons, right? So we got to make money. Well, if that's the number one goal, how do we make money? When does a company make money? Nope. Close. It's not when the customer buys something. It's not when we ship something. When do we make money as a company? Tell me. When we actually get the money. So if the goal of the company is to make money and get paid as fast as we can, we need to shorten the time from the time the product gets ordered to the time it ships, right? So we know that. So I ask you, who's the most important person in our company or area if that is our goal? Well, everything. I couldn't find, to me, shipping is just as important as welding. And welding is just as important as laser operating and just as important as paint. We all are very dependent on each other, right, to do a good job. So I'm really struggling with what's more important. So that's why I'm not really big on titles. You know what I mean? It's not that important to me that I have my banker, her title is, she is the Regional Vice President of Relationship Management. And I said, I'm going to tell you something, Danae. I've been married to the same beautiful woman for 24 years. I don't need help with my relationship. What I need help with is this. I need some more of this. Do I need to find somebody that says banker willing to give money? I mean, that's who I'm looking for. So I've been teasing her for quite a few years about that. Always try to find a solution. That's what great people do. The world is full of problems and we need people with solutions. So when you come to work for us, we give you a solution card. And basically, it's a card that tells you to bring 3 solutions. And I don't want you to come to me, Troy, and say, hey, we got a machine down. I want you to come and say, well, actually, don't even come to me. Just fix it. I guess if you were to stand out on the street with a sign that said, bring me your problems, you could probably get a pretty big line of people. And as Zig Ziglar once said, most people don't want their problems solved, because if I foul up and solve your problem, you can't tell him about it, and her about it, and her about it, and him about it. So we're looking for people with solutions, right? That's the mindset that we're trying to ingrain around here. Don't bring me your problems, bring me solutions. All of us that manage people or have developed people all know that, right? Bring me the solutions, but it's very difficult to actually have them do that. We have systems within our company called stop signs and things like that that try to foster that thinking. Here we go. If you want to work for us, we believe that we all hold hands when we cross the street. And most of us learned this when we were this tall, right? But what it means to me in business, so we're in Mountain Home, very small rural community. Most of us that live there love the lifestyle. I love the fact that I look out my window and there's nothing but Bennett Mountain. I love that. So it's important that all of us hold hands when we cross the street of life. Because if our company goes broke, there's not going to be a lot of people lining up to give everybody jobs, right? You'll find yourself strangely alone. Those of us that made it through the recession, we know what it's like when we saw people get kicked to the curb and people were abandoning everybody, and we made it. So when we cross the street of life, we all hold hands. One of the girls that worked for us was downstairs, and somebody said something foul to her. And I said, you want me to go take my club down there? And she goes, what? And I said, well, let me tell you a story. My mentor, Donnie Cruz, was in Africa years ago. And he was driving along in the Jeep, and he said he looked up on the hill, and there was this little Aborigine guy about this tall. And he was sitting on top of a Cape buffalo skinning him. Donnie gets up there, and he goes, you kill that? Mm-hmm. I said, what'd you use? The little Aborigine says, I used my club. He goes, holy crap, how big is your club? He says, there's about 300 of us. So we're trying to build a big club. And I told her, I said, you want me to go down there and use my club? No, but you know, it means so much. And we've asked people to leave our company because they couldn't do this. You know, they were continually letting us down, and we couldn't count on them anymore. And I knew when we crossed the street of life, maybe they were going to kind of go, you know, we don't need them people. So it means a lot to us when we talk about it. Don't take what's not yours. Again, we all learned this at a little age, but to us that means so much. You know, doing lean manufacturing, we just invested about $50,000, and we now have a computer at every workstation, including every welding cell, every robot, every laser, every final assembly process has a touchscreen computer at it. People used to, how many of you guys have had people hoarding drawings and keeping them in their toolboxes, right? And then you introduce a new set of drawings and they're still building off of the old ones. Well, to me, that's taking what's not theirs. You can't take a drill and hide it in your toolbox because it's not yours, it's ours, right? And the theft is an easy one, but don't take what's not yours means a lot of other things to us. So it's very, very, we dismissed the guy because he got tired of so you got to understand, right? So we have shadow boards. I'd invite anybody on a tour. We've created our own shadow board system, and the drill's there, and every time he needed a drill, it wasn't there. So he just started keeping a drill in his toolbox. I mean, he just violated, right? He took what wasn't his. He wasn't accountable to the next person. He wasn't a good team player because a good team player would have put the drill back, right, clean so the next person could use it. So we got rid of him. If you hurt someone, say you're sorry. You know, there's a dose of humility there, and if you can hear my voice, several times I've overreacted to a situation, and I'm humble enough to tell people I'm sorry. And once you start doing that and other people doing it, it just starts to create a new deal. And it's very important to us that if you hurt someone, you say you're sorry. Okay? This is one that I just means so much to me. Understand that you're here on your own free will. No one is forcing you to stay. So it's up to you to make it a good place. You know, I tell people when you come to work for us, I don't have family members of yours chained in the basement forcing you to work here. I don't hold a gun to you. I said, you got, even in this room, I tell people when I'm talking, you don't even have to listen to me. I mean, you can get up and walk out the door. You can boo me, you can heckle. But when you work for us, don't come in and expect me to make you feel good every day. And don't expect me to make this perfect for you every day. It's up to you. And if each person starts doing that and realizes that if you're, I can't understand why would people stay working at a job that they're miserable in? We've all had the people, the cancer, right, that works for us that says, I hate this place, it sucks, it's a bunch of BS. Well, then leave. Well, now we got people that work for us that say, hey, I'm here because I want to be here, right? It's kind of like this meeting. There's some of you are here because you want to be here. Some of you are here because it's better being here than someplace else, right? And some of you are here because you were told to be here. At our company, I mean, you're there because you want to be there. And what happens is people start telling you, look, I don't want to hear it from you. Just leave. Get out of here. If you're miserable, leave. So that thing makes it, and people used to blame me for their unhappiness. And I can't be in charge of that. Our big deal now is I can't. I'll try. Look. I don't know if any of you follow the theory of constraints. Ellie Goldratt, The Goal. If you haven't read the book, read it. So I purchased the TOC simulator the other day. And I started running the simulator. And it's pretty interesting because you have your product weighting, you have cost, and you see it move through the factory, and you watch your money moving, and you watch all this. It's amazing. And I went back and I watched a video of his about what the theory of constraints was, and he said the reason the simulator works is because it's a perfect scenario. The vendor in the simulator always delivers on time. The money is always, the customer always pays on time. Everything moves within the simulator perfect. So then I thought, what would a perfect company run like? What would my version of paradise be? So I got everybody together in the company and I said, what if we tried to build paradise? When you walked into a manufacturing plant, what should it be like? What does paradise mean to us? If you're a welder, I said, you guys that weld for us, and you walk into the welding shop, what should paradise look like to a welder? And we started writing these things down. And we started going after them, and because we want to build paradise. And in fact, we got a sign coming together that goes over the door that says, welcome to paradise. Now, do we have problems? Absolutely. A few of you have talked to me and said you've enjoyed these speeches before, but I got to tell you, and I've told Mr. Hatton before, our place is like a frontier town. And I think we have all these faces on the front of our building, right? Like a Wild West town, the big fronts, and all of us are holding them. And then, you know, Dwayne and Al come by from Recluse. We do a lot of work together, and they walk in, and we're all holding the fronts up, and I'm telling them, what paradise, look at this, wow. And then they walk out the door, and you know, you're running, all the fronts are falling down on the building. You know, we definitely have our struggles, but I can tell you this, the last 2 years have been the most profitable years in the history of my life at our company. And I can tell you, it's the people buying in to this company culture. It's no different than running a football team. You know, lean terminology. What does FIFO mean to us? What does Poka-Yoke mean to us? If you're a player and I say run 22 fly right banana, and you go, okay, I got it, coach, and you run out, you got to run the play. It can't mean something different to you. Has to be what we, so I kind of adopted the Yoates theory is do what we say, do it our way and you'll be successful. Doesn't mean do what Chuck said, do it his way or the highway. Do what we say. And when you come to work, you know what you're getting into. We want to be the absolute best company that we can be, and we want the same for you. Don't compare yourself or this company to others. Compare us only to ourselves. The Shingo. I got criticized because somebody said our company lacks vision. And so our company mission statement is this: be better today than we were yesterday. And a few people have said, well, that doesn't really tell me enough. Well, what more does that mean? Yesterday was Thursday. We had our leadership meetings, 7:30 to 8. They're free. We don't pay you to come. But if you want to come, we talk. We get 35 to 40 people consistently showing up. And what we're trying to do is find out how can we be better as a company, because I think that's what matters. So I asked our welding shop yesterday, are we better in our welding shop today than we were 2 weeks ago? And they said, absolutely. And then I go to our paint department, are we better today than we were? And they say, no, we're not. We're struggling. All right. Well, we all hold hands, right? We're going to get you some resources and we're going to do what we can to make you better. But it just seems logical. If our company's better today than it was yesterday, we are continually improvement, and lean is continuous, help me Steve, improvement. So if we're just getting better each day, things are getting better. I don't need to have all this. Like Shingo and them guys, and I'm going to offend some of you businesses because you have signs up that say, think safety, right? And so many accident-free days. Poppycock. Take the money you're spending on the dang signs and figure out how to prevent the injury in the first place. And that is a wrap. So if anybody wants to talk to me afterwards, I'll be out there. If you want to email me, I drove off and forgot the list. I do have our company culture board. I'd be glad to email you. We have some other philosophies. My email's chuck@intheditch.com. So thank you for your time.